Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week?
Well, Tyler, I suspect I'm a little bit more chilling with the way last week ended than you might be.
Yeah, I guess. It's come and gone, but the finale of WandaVision happened last week. We have collected our thoughts, and it is time to say what we think about the second half of the season series, I guess, if it's only one season.
Limited
And
special.
yeah, overall, what we think of the first Marvel Studios TV show. I'll just kick it off to you, Mike. What did you think specifically of the second half?
I thought the second half was still very strong
Mm-hmm.
because, obviously the first half had to take its time to, I don't know, tell the story leading up to, obviously, the main second half where all the action happens. And that's where all the beans were spilled and kind of little head nods to the comic fans and then also a few to the Fox fans.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that rubbed me the wrong way. But I would definitely say the second half of the season.
yeah. It's funny you bring that up. I guess overall, my thoughts are a bit more mixed, and it's a shame because I'm not one of those people online. Obviously, you've been online. You've been reading the fan theories of WandaVision. I really, really don't think why people thought, oh, Disney is going to show off a Fantastic Four actor during this show.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen either.
That movie is 2 to 3 years out. They're not just going to casually drop. Oh, here's who's going to play Reed Richards. See you in 2 years. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Um,
The Doctor Strange thing made more sense chronologically, but I knew that wasn't going
See, I was kind of hoping that would happen. Kind of the show, because to be honest, one of the issues, well, it's not technically a Marvel Studio show. Agent of Shield was supposed to be that show, right? It was headed by Marvel Television, which we won't get into it. But Kevin Feige and the guy that runs Marvel Television hated each other and all that blah blah blah. But long story short, that was supposed to be a TV show for Marvel films. And besides the rare Samuel Jackson appearance or from a side character, they didn't get the big stars. They just referenced the big event. So I was kind of hoping, all right, Marvel Studios is producing, they're in control of everything. Just have a little cameo. It would make sense. And what slightly annoys me even more, because Doctor Strange could have made an appearance, is he was referenced in the final episode that she is stronger than him now, and the post-credit scene where she is training like how he used to train by reading the books in the astral form.
to. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but it's like, all right, so you have no problem mentioning him. You have no problem, you're not shying away from that. But also, gonna be honest, kind
I
of a little
mean,
bit poor writing. This girl cast how many spells in a matter of one day over in New Jersey? This witch senses it, comes in. Doctor Strange in New York City. Nah, like you don't sense this, Mister Sorcerer Supreme.
well, I'm assuming they're going to explain that in the new Doctor Strange movie
I hope
because she
so.
does have a role in that. So they're probably going to do a little bit of a flashback. I could picture it kind of the same way that the snap happened in the hospital in WandaVision. Like a quick little recap, and then he kind of comes to and is trying to look for her now because of all this power she gained or discovered.
No, I do hope they explain that because it's my personal belief that after Endgame happened, the Avengers that have to be on the ball and helping the world get everything together are the ones that came back to life, the ones who didn't have to suffer the last 5 years. So that includes Doctor Strange. All right, and who knows? Maybe he's in another dimension on a mission. That'd be like just do something like that because there's no way he could have sensed it. Because you're leaving this kind of event to Sword, which we still don't have a clear answer on where the hell Sword came from.
Yeah, they just kind of said a feud about that. They're like, yeah, you know what? We could tell you how Sword started, but no, we're just gonna do the cheap way out. Say Monica Rambeau's mom founded it, and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
When did she find it? Don't know.
Well, it was in between her, getting cured of cancer and the cancer coming back, and then her dying, and also that's all in the 5 years between the Avenger movies. Yeah.
But How do you start like a full government operation of that scale within 5 years?
I
I
don't.
feel like that would need a little bit of serious financial funding to kick off like that.
Well, I think it would be safe to assume after the snap happens, all the world governments just lose their shit as half the population disappeared. So I would like to assume all the governments around the world came together, just poured money into these people that said, "Hey, Avengers are gone, half of everyone's gone. We can try and do a better job than Shield and come back out stronger." Maybe, but I'm starting to get a little annoyed they don't really explain how Sword came to be in this universe. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go read up Wikipedia and
Yeah.
get the comic stuff. Like, I get it, they're an intergalactic version of Shield, but
Are
I was
they an
thinking
intergalactic version of Shield?
it is. It is an inter. Yeah, because if you see from Far From Home, the post credit scene, Samuel Jackson's helping running it in space, and even
Um,
this post credit scene, Monica is being teased to go. Oh, he wants to visit you up there because she was grounded. Nick Fury in space. So I don't know what Nick Fury's doing in space, but they keep
see that?
teasing that he's there.
No pun intended, but that actually flew over my head the first watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, Far From Home's a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Forget what people are doing all these post credit scenes. But
Yeah,
Tyler, tell me, what was the standout episode or moment that happened in the second half of the series?
I think for me, standout episode, I would say, is the episode 8. I think episode 8, which basically is the flashback episode where they explain a lot of stuff, but
Yeah, it's just expositing.
it's not
It kind
just.
of
I don't think
it,
it's like just exposition, even though some of it is. I like it because it gives more sense to Wanda's background.
yeah. I thought it was necessary, but it's just an episode where not much happened.
It's not much happened, but I think it provided a nice scene with Vision. He's got a great quote. Great quote about love persevering. We get a lot of answers to a lot of stuff. Personally, besides that one, I think the Halloween episode was actually really well done.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Vision trying to figure out what's going on up until the Fox Quicksilver thing was thrown out the window. It was kind of cool hinting at it. Actually, I have another problem with the ending of this show. He's not Quicksilver. He is a wannabe actor named Ralph Boner. Fine. How does he have superpowers?
Well,
The necklace?
she bewitched him to have superpowers.
They don't explain that at all.
No, they don't. Once again, it was done for a cheap laugh.
Like I would understand it more if she's like, "Oh, what? You can't run?" He's like, "Oh no, I can't somehow. I just came back and I can't run." Like, and then it turns out he's a regular guy. Fine, that makes sense. But okay, see, because they don't hit. I don't know. Jesus Christ, the
Yeah,
writing
they
in the
don't
last
really say
episode
what.
really just.
Yeah, they don't really say what these witches can and can't do right now.
Mhm.
All we know is they can basically do anything at this point.
Well, they can basically do anything, especially if they're in their own hex. Then anything goes.
Yeah.
Clearly, look, I'm giving the last episode a lot of shit, and I feel some of it is warranted. Even though the director came out and said COVID did cause some changes. I didn't
Now,
talk to you about this beforehand, but apparently there was supposed to be a subplot where, the bunny rabbit they kept hinting at with the witch.
yeah,
Yeah, apparently that was supposed to turn into a demon.
yeah, Mephisto or something like that, I believe.
Not exactly Mephisto, but basically the book that Agatha kept showing Wanda. One of the subplots was that Monica was going to go save the kids and try and grab the book. Then her and the kids would have to fight the rabbit who would be protecting the book while everyone else is fighting outside. That would have been great. That shows the kids doing something,
Yeah,
Monica
that would
doing
make
something other
sense,
than taking bullets.
essentially.
I think there's some good things in the last episode. I think the Vision fight was a standout because of the way it finished. It being a philosophy ending. They just talked it out like they should.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that much more than a good old fashioned brawl, I guess, because I feel like that'd just be kind of boring. It's like, oh, Vision versus Vision. I wonder who's gonna win.
Yeah. Even though they gave us a little bit of it, but which is also good.
Yeah, it's good, but that would get old real fast. But essentially, I kind of like where they're taking it, especially on that aspect, because at the end of it, Vision now has all of Vision, well, colorless Vision has all of Vision's memories now, so he sort of became the real Vision again.
Yeah. The way I interpret it is the like because it's some of it is his original body. Is the original Vision is now back, and he has the memories from what he lived in his, I guess, previous life. The issue is he doesn't have the emotional attachment that he gained from those memories.
Ah,
So like he can see Wanda and he'll remember them kissing or them going on dates or whatever. He remembers it, but he doesn't have the emotional attachment to her, so he doesn't care. And I think that's why he flew off, because he needs to figure out what does he think about all this? What does he think about trying to fight Thanos? What does he think about being born from Ultron and all that? He
yeah,
has no emotional attachments.
it's interesting.
It is
And
interesting.
I guess another question is, if he somehow becomes Vision again, does he get his color back?
I don't think so, but I also feel like he can just get a paint job.
I feel like they. I don't know. I feel like they need to
Cl-
bring his color back because
I
it
mean,
was just
clearly
jaw.
Sword was not good in the art department and giving him
No,
paint jobs.
it was literally just, hey, you're just all white now. It's actually gonna hurt to look at you. That's how white you're gonna be.
Oh, is there anything else that stood out for you? I mean, what do you think about Agatha being the final villain?
I mean, you kind of saw it coming.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, though, it did really throw me through a loop earlier on in the season when Vision was trying to figure shit out, and like Agatha was technically acting to to make it seem like she was also under Wanda's control.
yeah, but they kind of played like we both kind of knew something was off about that. The way she was acting was a little off compared to everyone else.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean,
It
for
is.
Marvel's first big budget show, I think it was pretty good.
No, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I feel like this up until the final episode, it was a good to great show that just didn't stick the landing. But again, this wasn't supposed to be the first thing to kick off Phase 4.
No,
So it having that as well as being the first Disney Plus show for Marvel, I think it did pretty good. And you know, obviously we both have some issues with it. It does set these characters in the right spots. So going into Doctor Strange, Wanda will have more control over power. She's got a new costume. She finally has her name,
yep,
Scarlet Witch. Now, how does that interact with Doctor Strange? We don't know. Vision is off doing his own thing. I take it if he's not in Doctor Strange, he'll be in the next Avenger movie, I guess.
yeah. What are they gonna do with the next Avenger movie? That's
The only rumors I keep hearing, it's should be Kang the Conqueror, who you'll see in Ant-Man 3.
okay.
Turns out messing with time kind of pisses him off, so he comes over. So we'll be looking at Ant-Man for experience on dealing with that. Does Vin show up? Maybe. What do you think happens with the kids?
The kids are gone, man. I don't know.
No, I mean, you saw the post-credit scene, right? The kids are screaming at the end, at the last second.
Well, they're living inside of her. Remember how she created Vision straight from
Mm,
that piece of her, the Mind Stone or the Soul Stone that is like in her.
okay,
Does
so
the
you don't
Soul
think that's
Stone have
her
a
checking
Mind
other
Stone?
dimensions and then found the kids where they exist?
I don't know. That's also another thing I didn't think about. I just thought about it as how she created Vision from herself. That's also how she created her kids. So her kids are technically within her. So if she were to create another world like that anywhere, she could probably bring the kids right back out.
That's what I'm thinking, because I thought, like, all right, so she's training with the book, she's doing all the reading, and it just goes to her eyes wide open as she hears the kid screaming, "Mom!" So it's like, are you checking how to bring kids back, or is like, did you finally find a place where a universe where you can go grab your kids and they're real and you can bring them back with you, and maybe that starts the Doctor Strange movie.
Maybe.
I don't know. Also, do you think Wanda like? I'm kind of the feeling now Wanda's just kind of a villain or like an anti-hero.
Yeah, I would say right now anti-hero.
Yeah, like
He
she's
was
not a goody
definitely
two shoes anymore.
no, she I don't think she ever was though.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
I
thing.
guess being part of a
Wanda
terrorist
always had.
organization when we first meet you isn't the most
Yeah.
well. Well, I think before it's like I was willing to like brush that aside because we saw her parents died. We see where her hatred of Stark comes from. I'm willing to brush that aside, but my thing is, this is honestly my biggest issue with the episode. is at the end, Wanda can't even look at the townspeople in the eye after what she did to them, and only apologizes to Monica before flying off.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want much. I didn't like want her to shake hands with every single person she brainwashed, but like just announce to the town, "I'm sorry, my power got out of control. I made you suffer. Whatever. I'm gonna go train so this never happens again." What? But like no, it's like Monica was only in it for like 2 days. These people were in it for almost 3 weeks, and they don't get anything. It's a honestly a bad enough writing where it's like you want me to think Wanda's not a good person anymore. 'Cause
essentially
she's not.
because she's lost. That's basically what we're getting at. She doesn't really know if she wants to be a hero anymore. Because what has being a
Yeah.
hero really got her? A dead brother and a dead potential husband.
Yeah, dead boyfriend, fiance, and I know based on how Monica said it, oh, you never know, they'll never know what you gave up. What, another dead husband and dead kid, like fake kids?
But they were real, though. That's the thing. Clearly, they were real. Because if they weren't real, she wouldn't be able to hear him at the end, one. And two, that whole Vision versus Vision fight would have technically fallen apart. They were real, but only
In the
as
hex.
real as Wanda
Yeah.
could make them.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I get that because like they're only alive as long as they're in the hex. We saw that as soon as she started to break it down to free the townspeople, the kids in Wanda, not Wanda Vision, are on the ground screaming in pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are real. I agree with you there.
And the
Um,
interesting thing is that also goes back to them being real. She doesn't technically control any of them. She created them, but she can't control them.
yeah, she can only control the townspeople, which is interesting. She can brainwash and control people that she didn't make, but she can't with the people that she does make, which is weird.
Yeah.
I think there's another hint for the movie as well. Is at the end, when she beats Agatha and all that, and she gets a costume. Agatha starts to worry, like, "Oh, you don't know what you've done. You don't know what you've unleashed." But it's never hinted at what.
Yeah.
Like what? Because you helped her egg her on to the point where she takes up the Scarlet Witch name and is training. Like that's on you.
Yeah, she was just chilling, living in her own TV world life, and it wasn't for her.
But damn, what a case of jealousy on that witch. Oh my god.
Essentially, but that was kind of her whole thing.
Yeah. No, I just find it funny that like the back half of the season is basically her just losing it, like not playing nice anymore and just being jealous about how do you do this? Tell
Yeah,
me.
kind of dumb, but whatever.
Well, funny enough, I think this makes me the ending of this show makes me slightly more excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of want something to wash away the last episode. Shorter season. There's only, I think, 6 episodes as well. But I don't know. I'm hoping for like a bigger impact. I'm hoping for a bigger impact from the Marvel shows, like the movie does. And if you're not going to go bring in guest Avengers and only focus on the main cast, that's fine. But it's got to be big, like big changes. For WandaVision, we didn't really get that. We just got two characters to move into the next place where they need to be. Essentially, like you know what I'm saying, like because like that town will go back to normal, even though everyone will need extensive therapy.
Yeah,
Sword
but I
lives
think
on,
you're overlooking something very big.
which is
There was a big impact. The sheer scale of what Wanda could do, because we never knew exactly what she could do. We've only seen her wave her fingers and like shoot some mind fireballs and throw people aside and make people have bad dreams. We never knew the scale of her power. So I think that is a huge play in
enough.
the future of Marvel or this current Avengers timeline.
No, fair enough. Especially if she learns how to train it and control what she can do, then obviously that would make a big impact. I guess I
She's
was just wasn't too surprised considering she would have been able to 1v1 Thanos and kill him.
easily. If she like her right now, I think Thanos would have been shot.
No,
He's
no, she almost did it. The only reason she didn't is because Thanos had to fire on his own troops.
yeah.
You know it's bad when you're killing your own men just to live.
Yeah, but he's got those like dog things. Are they really like little squid people? They don't count.
I mean, it's still his troops.
They're, I feel like they're more animalistic than
They're
free
alive,
thinking.
Mike. They're alive.
Yeah, okay.
They don't need a hex to live.
Well, all right. Good for you for sticking up for some aliens that try to Fucking ruin the world, Tyler. A plus.
Hey, they don't judge. They just ruin any world Thanos wants.
Exactly. They're just mindless bitches. So yeah.
But they're alive.
Not anymore. Thanos killed them, just like Wanda killed her kids.
And her husband.
Who she created. Oh, wait. So Wanda had a child with herself from herself.
Yes, two kids. Yes.
Okay. Put that into perspective.
I like how much thought and care we're putting into talking about these two kids that she impregnated herself with, gave birth to, and less than a week, grew up to 10 years old.
Yeah, well, they did that on their own.
I honestly feel that is not talked about enough more.
No, it's not. Because that's also like Wanda not having control of her kids that she created.
But I feel that is a magical power on and of its own, and no one talks about it. It's just all brushed away because, well, they wanted the dog.
Yeah. And then they were going to do it again because they felt sad.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like just age yourself up to 20 and just do whatever you want.
So if they can age themselves up, can they age themselves down? Because then they're truly immortal.
I know these are questions that need to be answered, but no one wants to talk about them.
And how they can just develop random superpowers too. Like,
I wouldn't say random. They seem to be specific. Like they weren't adding it.
But we're also forgetting about the fact that they can just rapidly age themselves whenever they want. So I feel
again, that's the bigger issue.
That's a power in its own. Plus, one's super fast and the other one's weird.
The vibe I got from the other one was that he can, honestly, kind of like Professor X.
A little bit, but he has Wanda power too.
Yeah. I mean, Professor X is more like he can read the situation and read the minds, but obviously he wasn't trained enough to actually do anything with that.
Now, here's a better question. Could he hear Vision when Vision was in pain because they're from the same source?
That's a good question. Because the only other thing we have is that she recognized, like, he also felt when Wanda was getting yelled at by the town.
Yep.
But then you could say, well, he was made by her, so obviously they would have that connection as well.
Correct.
Huh.
So once again, we're talking about stuff that is just brushed over and not looked at.
Like, is it a father-son connection? Is it because they're maybe they are from the same universe, or is it because they're both created? Definitely different ways you can take that.
It's definitely something to think about. But that's what this show is actually very good at. It makes you think a lot more than other Marvel shows. I was rewatching.
No, it does. I will say it has been fun week by week. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Maybe it's pointed toward this. Did it work out? Not completely, but the ride was fun.
Yeah, like overall, it wasn't a show where there was just like a couple really bad episodes, and there were other episodes that made up for it. Yeah, kind of like you're gonna hate me for saying this, but Punisher season 2.
See, I haven't watched Punisher season 2 yet, so
there's good episodes and there's episodes that are not that good. Like overall, that show's second season's okay. At best.
That sounds like a lot of Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah, well, at least the Punisher season 1 was pretty good throughout it. But to talk for another time.
Yeah,
I think just the end of this show, I'm also excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I don't know. I feel like it's going to be an action-packed show and it's going to be a lot faster paced.
I'm looking forward to seeing more Zeno.
Yeah. I think he's completely shot after this season though. Winter Soldier is just gonna kill him. Call it a day. Because Zemo is too dangerous to be kept alive for Winter Soldier. Because if he ever memorized the code to basically make him the Winter Soldier, he has him on command.
No, you got earplugs. Come on, before the mission.
Yeah, we know. But does Bucky do that? No, Bucky not smart, Tyler. Bucky doesn't just go la 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 la. And when you're making a lot of noise, it's hard to hear what someone else is saying, thus breaking the mind control. But no, he has to punch his way out.
Yeah, no, seriously. In Civil War, he just takes it, and then afterwards, when he breaks free, it's like, oh no, shame that happened. You didn't try.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that show over the next few weeks. Actually starts this week, so yeah, we'll be talking about it soon. And then Loki in June.
Yes, sir.
They just keep coming. But yeah, if anyone has any thoughts about WandaVision or have it wrapped up, Mike, where can they let us know about it?
Well, as always, you guys have a plethora of options You have our Instagram, Facebook, and you can even check us out on YouTube, all under the easy handle Entertainment Expansion. That is our goal at the end of the day. Expand your entertainment thinking. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.